Man, do I ever feel off track. Now, if you follow our blog or you get our newsletter, then you've probably been seeing a lot of the lead up into a program, an at-home video health lifestyle program that my husband and I created called Primal 4. So we've had a lot of late nights, we've had a lot of early mornings, lots of hours over the weekend. It really had a tight deadline to make this happen. And first I have to apologize because the baby you're going to hear on the floor right now is my son Kai. He's 8 months. And he's part of the off track we're going to talk about. So this is actually a little segue, but I may have to go down and get him in a second, but I will continue. But back to Primal Forest. So yeah, so I've definitely gotten a track with all of that. With my sleep is a big one. So with all the work put into Primal 4, on top of a busy chiropractic practice, on top of being a mom to 2 boys, Tyson, who's 3, almost 3.5, and Kai, who's almost 8 months. And Kai is starting to pop some teeth. And our little Zen baby is suddenly a little guy who's up a couple or several times a night. So I'm clocking, I would say, at most 4 to 5 hours sleep per night, and it's broken sleep. So yeah, so my body's gotten kind of run down. I've gotten off track. I've gotten off track with some of the things that really help me stay focused, take care of myself, and allow me to really be my best. So does that ever felt like you? Have you ever gotten off track before? You know, of course you have, right? We all have before, but somehow we often think that we are the only ones that this is happening to. So as opposed to kind of going down the pity party of, oh my gosh, life is so tough to juggle all these things, I want us instead to really focus on solution here. So in keeping in line with these weekly video blogs, which will give you some great practical tips and information of how you can actually implement some change into your life, today I'm going to go through top 5 tips for getting back on track, and then we'll recap them at the end as well. So make sure to watch all the way through. So step number 1 in that top number 1 tip of getting back on track with routine and rituals into your life is to let go of the guilt. Okay, this is one of some of the biggest things that people often get stuck on, is they feel badly about it. They're like, oh, I've been eating crappy food, or I got off track with my exercise, I lost that weight, now it's come back on. Listen, the past is the past is the past. Okay, so you have to really let that go and allow yourself to really start making actions from now forward, because you can't really change what happened, but you can change the decisions that you will make from this point forward to really start to change that. So step number 1, letting go of that guilt. Step number 2 is you need to formulate a plan. Now, the plan that you had done in the past might be different than the plan that you have today. So, for example, with myself, so I do what's called a morning power hour. I've blogged about this before, and I'll put links to those past blogs in the notes section of this particular blog. But I get up 5 days a week, 4 or 5, so I'm up usually about 4:30 or so. But I start at 5, so from 5 to 6, and I spend an hour doing reading, journaling, and mobility work. So it's really that time for me. With being a very busy working mom, I don't have a lot of time for me, and so it's a great way for me to kind of set the stage. Well, we started working on Primal 4, and then with Kai being up as well then too, things are just, again, they're different now. Kai's not kind of sleeping through, and so maybe your plan of getting back to what you fell off track with is going to be a little bit different. Maybe it's going to be that 3 things have fallen off track, and as opposed to saying, okay, I'm going to go right back to how things were before, maybe you're adding 1 thing at a time. But you have to have some kind of a plan and action steps in place so you know how you're going to start doing this. Saying that someday you'll get back, or soon, or one day, or when you have the time, no, that does not cut it. You have to really set up a plan to get back to those things, again, that are really important to you and that you want to really continue to do within your life. So step number 3, and I talk about this a lot, tell others about your plans to get back on track. Okay, so accountability is huge. When you tell other people about your plans, this is a good thing. This means that you're not just going to talk the talk, but you're going to actually walk it, because guess what? People are going to ask you about it. Hey, how's it going getting back to that exercise routine? How's it going with, that new way that you're eating right now? You're going to have people kind of ask you and help to keep you honest along the way. So accountability is a huge one. Step number 4 is to simply start. Okay, so now you have to go, okay, so I'm letting go of what happened, past is past, I've got that plan in action, I'm telling people that I know, and then there gets to the point where you just have to take that first step. Okay, there is no perfect time. People will say to me when we talk about primal nutrition, go, oh, that's awesome, that's great. When I get back from holidays, when my company's out of town, when the kids are on spring break, these are all wonderful and great, but you know what? There's no better time to start than just now. So you have to start, even if it's a little step, a big step. But guess what? One step is going to go the next step, to the next step, to the next step. So it'll start that momentum moving forward and back to where you'd like to be again. And then step number 5 is simply to keep on going. So here's what happens. Let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, if your goal is, gosh, I got to get back to the gym. I'm just going 3 times a week, and I've gotten off track. And what often happens is the further that we get off track from what we were doing before, the harder it is to get back. Is that real to you? So once you then are kind of back to that, let's say, again, you're going back to the gym. Those early mornings are going to feel a little bit rough at first. You're going to feel very stiff and sore. And then maybe about a weekend, you're going like, yeah, my body's feeling better again, and my energy's better, I'm sleeping better, I feel better about myself. So there'll be that positive feedback loop to really keep you going, right? Those results that you're now getting from that action, or that getting back to that action, is going to keep you on track because you want to keep reproducing that and actually keep getting better and better and better. So as a recap, 5 tips to getting back on track. So first, let go of that guilt. You have to then formulate a plan, so action, tell others. You need to then start and keep going. So have that positive feedback to actually keep going and stay on track again. Now just know you might fall off track again. So be it. Go back to step 1 through to 5 and rinse and repeat. Okay, you're a human being. You're imperfect. We are all designed that way. It's okay if you fall off track. The thing is to recognize it and to get back on again. So I hope this has been a great value to you today. This is actually, I was actually looking through and get ready for this particular blog. This is blog number 160. So I'm really, really thrilled and excited that you've been watching these or reading the written ones. I would really like to, though, and I also too want to express some gratitude. I'm really very, very thankful for comments that you've made and feedback and reshares on Facebook and Twitter and that. Thank you so much for helping and sharing my vision to connect with many people as I possibly can to really inspire and motivate them to live their best life too. But certainly, you know, I would like to know how you're implementing these things into your life. So I hope you have the most wonderful, awesome day. Again, I love to hear from you with all this. And that is Kai crying. That's my cue to go. So I will talk to you very soon. Have an awesome, awesome day.